Broderick told you that you
my
must
liege.
travel.
Ready to serve.
Ready to serve.
Broderick told you that you must travel to the fabled Glastonbury, where Morgana Le Fey, Merlin's most talented apprentice, is defending the Former Monastery from the Fomorians. You have to find Morgana and persuade her that she should help you find her master. But beware, she is dangerous and craves power. The journey to Glastonbury is heavy going over the once verdant Salisbury Plain. Finally you reach the marshland and walk in the fog until you see the black mass of the monastery. This is where you have to stop. A magical wall keeps away every living creature. You've never seen such powerful magic. If you want to break through this impenetrable wall, you will have to use the strongest artifact in your possession, the Shard of the Grail. You bend the power of the artifact to your will and use it to pierce through the invisible barrier. You feel the seething energies of the shard dissipate faster than it can weaken the protection. If the shard loses its powers, the wall will crush you. You could pour all its remaining energies into a final blast, but it could kill the wizard who maintains the wall. When you force the power of the shard against the wall, a piercing pain blinds you immediately and you stumble to the ground. When you open your eyes, you realize with a shock that you can't feel the power of the Grail anymore. At least the wall is gone. You can walk to Glastonbury. The Former Monastery is a sprawling complex of towers and separate buildings, surrounded by a makeshift village and a military camp. There is something clearly magical about this place, and now you understand why this place is so important for both believers and wizards alike. When you reach the first tent, guards appear from the fog. They seem suspicious, but they are not hostile. They take you to one of the grim towers in the fog, where you meet the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. She's wearing elaborate robes and eyes you coldly. She introduces herself as Morgana Le Fey. Her voice is strong, and it's clear that she's used to giving orders. Now she demands to know why you are here and how you got through the defenses. For a while, Morgana remains silent. You wait patiently while she ponders the situation. "If you want my help," she says finally without a trace of emotion, "you must first assist me in protecting Glastonbury. The defenses are weakening every day, and if I leave, they'll crumble." Morgana nods. "Glastonbury is surrounded by the growing wasteland, and we are under constant attack. There is a Fomorian mound in Dumnonia where one of their chieftains nests and sends out hordes to the marshland. If this nest perishes, I can leave these men in safety." "I tried to destroy that accursed Fomorian mound in Dumnonia," snaps Morgana. "But I failed and paid a huge price for my hubris. I lost most of my men. I bound my powers to a crystal to close the gate to the other world. It's still there. I need you to find it for me." Morgana gives you a sour look.
You don't have to bring the crystal to me. Quite the opposite. You must destroy it immediately. Throw it into the Fomorian gate or eradicate it with a spell. If it's destroyed, the arcane energy bound to it will flow back to me.
Morgana shrugs.
First, I will gather a new army and make some preparations. If I recover my powers, I'll immediately set out to find the Lady of the Lake. This ancient entity has a very strong connection with Merlin, but it will be a dangerous task, even with my powers intact.
You spend some time asking Morgana about important details concerning the wasteland in Dumnonia, the Formorian Mound, and the hordes guarding it. Then you leave the monastery and return to your army.
Let's see how good you are at keeping your promises, son of Pendragon. Are you ready to help this damsel in distress like the true knight you claim to be? If so, Dumnonia awaits. Kill the Fomorians lurking in the mounds and destroy the crystal that their chieftain took from me. And if you still doubt my word, don't forget that I am half she, and thus bound to keep my promises. If I recover my powers, I shall immediately set out to find Merlin.
Greetings, my Lord Pendragon. King Bertram, the ruler of Somerset, sends his compliments and requires your immediate attention in a matter of utmost importance. I can't divulge much, but it concerns the blight of the Fomorians.
You hear disturbing rumors from the court.
Somerset is the home of the wandering monks who seek knowledge and enlightenment across all of Britannia. Since the Fomorians flooded the realm, many of their normal routes have been closed, and they are hungry for every piece of knowledge they can find. London has a very effective army owing to their strict training methods. You could trust their veterans with the training of your own warriors. This would provide a steady source of reinforcements and regular advancement of your soldiers. London is swarming with hedge knights, brave warriors stripped of their lords and lands by the cataclysm. As they have proven themselves very useful during Fomorian sieges, Sir Caradoc overlooks their constant troublemaking and drinking. They usually band together and offer their combat expertise to any who can pay. London is the last safe haven in a vast wasteland. London is home to one of the few universities of Britannia, where they teach the arcane arts, religion, and the tactics of warfare for a hefty sum. Long ago, the kingdom of Ailment came to realize that they There are adepts among the Sidhe, who mortals would call wizards, though they themselves prefer the term artificer, for they are naturally adept at creating artifacts. They could assist some of your chosen men by improving their skill in forging artifacts. Changelings are mortal children brought up in the Sidhe courts and turned into zealots capable of superhuman feats. If you sent your own warriors to train with them, this could give you a great advantage over your enemies. Changelings are mortal children brought up in...
You hear disturbing rumors from... You hear disturbing rumors from the court of King Bertram, and you suspect that the possessed mortal slaves of the Fomorians are behind the recent disturbances in this tiny province. Your fears seem justified when King Bertram sends a messenger and requests that you ride there immediately to discuss important matters with him. King Bertram's province is surrounded by a scorched wasteland, and his shrunken domain is only guarded by makeshift defenses and tired soldiers. When you get close to the town, a small group of grim riders welcome you. To your surprise, they don't escort you to the royal palace, but to a military camp where King Bertram awaits you in his tent. When you enter, you don't see the king, only lines of soldiers. The situation hardly resembles a negotiation. Stay calm! You hear a raspy voice from the shadows, and when you turn around, you see something terrible. King Bertram himself. His skin is covered with ugly boils, which is a clear indication that he's becoming possessed. His eyes still look clear though, and he seems undoubtedly peaceful. Bertram begins with an apology. He is awfully sorry that he had to deceive you, but a few months ago he was forced to make a hard decision. His kingdom was on the verge of capitulation when a lone Fomorian arrived and offered him a proposition he could not refuse. The creature proposed a magic ritual to make the army stronger. All he asked was Bertram's palace and the prisoners held inside the dungeon. The king was too desperate. He accepted the offer, though he did not know if the ritual turns the subjects into the possessed. I could be if he wanted, he says, but it seems that it's not my kingdom he's interested in, but his secret deeds. He locked himself in the dungeons and rarely comes out to give me new orders. The dungeon must be his safe haven, because it is immensely huge. It has several exits, and it is defended by a number of ancient defense methods. I don't know anything about his plans for the prisoners, but I am sure that they are nothing good. I want to get rid of my guest. I am powerless against him, but with my help you will be able to defeat him. If you are willing to help, I can let you in through a secret tunnel, but you must go alone, or else the palace guards will alarm the demon. Looks like you have to fight the Fomorian on your own, but you don't let doubts weaken your mind. You prepare to fight. You buckle on your sword and put on your armor, then clear your mind. When you are ready, it occurs to you that divine powers might help you. When you are ready, Bertram's man escorts you to the secret entrance. Following his advice, you avoid the traps and soon reach the lair. You wait and listen at the door before you go in. You hear someone moving inside. You grab your sword, take a deep breath, and open the door. You storm inside and look around. A thin, tall Fomorian stands in the middle of the room. Your arrival obviously took him by surprise. You also see a table crammed with vials of various colors. There are short blades on a sword stand to his right, and a cauldron filled with burning oil. You see a strange mirror in the left corner behind the Fomorian. Occasionally soft ripples run through the surface. The Formorian suddenly gulps down the contents of the orange-colored vial, and you see his movements speed up. He glances at the mirror, then at the weapons. You kick the cauldron over, and the burning oil sets the weapon stand on fire. Unfortunately, the Formorian monster slips away from the flames and reaches the mirror with one enormous jump. The Formorian stares at the mirror and barks a single word. In a heartbeat, his image dissolves into a blurry patch, then splits into two. You blink, and when you open your eyes, you see two Formorians moving towards you. You close your eyes and focus on the mirror. The magic feels twisted, strange, and also very strong, and you are unable to overcome its arcane powers. When you open your eyes, your foes are very close, and you are forced to defend yourself. They try to surround you in the open, but you prove to be better in this fight. You successfully stab the one in front of you, then finish the battle with one mighty strike before the other could retaliate. The Formorian's dying scream shatters the mirror into 1,000 pieces. You have defeated the Formorian, and now you have to decide Bertram's fate. The king is surrounded by his possessed soldiers, and he obviously doesn't think that you will let him live. One of his messengers is still waiting for your answer, though. After the death of the Formorian, Bertram and his soldiers are free from his nefarious influence, although their hideous appearance remains the same. The king assures you of his friendship and gives you resources and valuable artifacts as a token of his gratitude.